Hi, I'm Steve Costello, math interventionist, kindergarten through 5 in Massachusetts. I've done thousands of number talks. This is 3 things to avoid in number talks. The first of 3, small groups. I know many teachers love doing everything in small groups and rotating centers. Your school may even require some small group work as part of your math block. Don't spend that time in number talk. It won't work. You'll need the whole team for number talks. Concrete thinkers, pictorial thinkers, abstract thinkers, the strong, the weak, the average, the fluent, the memorizers, the flexible thinkers, everyone. One of the awesome things about number talks is the kids work together to share the cognitive load of executive function. The smaller the group, the more you will have to do that work for them. Instead of contributing to the process, they will only grow accustomed to you prompting them and doing it for them. I told my friend Joan Sheehan once, and she didn't want to believe me. Smaller groups have to be easier and better, right? Better attention, more controlled. Not for this. She told me I was right about it, and I had her put it in writing. All I have to add to this is never ability group your kids, especially for number talks. Number talks allow the stronger students to bring the others up. The kids who are a little below the average, the second quintile, will benefit the most from this. Even kids in the first quintile will gain confidence as you find ways for them to contribute. That won't happen if you ability group. They will be stuck where they are, doomed to their rank. The next thing is letting kids come to the board, not for number talks. There are at least 3 good reasons for this, and you guessed it. One of them is you're on the clock. 15 minutes or less is what you have before the kids start thinking about lunch, candy, or Pokemon more than the math. Your goal is for as many kids as possible to take part and explain their mathematical thinking out loud. When a student comes up to the board, no one else is doing any mathematical thinking or talking. Everyone, including you, is watching and waiting. Another issue with letting kids come to the board is this. You can see in the picture, the student is pointing. That's what they do. It's often the reason they want to come to the board is because they want to explain something they don't understand. No one is using math vocabulary when this happens. Get them to use the words. Refer to a word bank, or at least use the chance to teach the vocabulary and get them to speak it out loud. Don't let him point. Make him say length, or rectangle, or area, or whatever this lesson in the picture is about. I mentioned that kids often want to come up to the board when they think they can explain something they don't really understand. Maybe she gets stage fright and forgets, or only wants to say everything she knows about rectangles because that's what she thinks the question is. When the student gets up there, he takes over the stage while the precious minutes bleed out. You're helpless to stop it. Your number talk has been hijacked. When you pick kids at random to come to the board, it's like playing Russian roulette. Don't. Third thing is don't give or check answers for kids in number talks. There's a time for that, but in a number talk, you want them explaining mathematical thinking and developing executive function skills and connecting concepts. Math isn't magic. At the very least, model how to check the answer so they see why it works. You've heard kids say they knew the answer because my brain told me. You model that when you check answers for them. That's what math looks like to them when you do that. The teacher just magically always knows. I get a lot of mileage out of asking, how can you tell? Mr. Costello, is this right? How can you tell if it is? How do you know it isn't 22 or 24 instead of 23? You can set a standard that mathematical solutions come from mathematical reasoning. And of course, finally, there's an exception that proves the rule here. Sometimes I'll start by giving the answer first thing. Spoiler alert, the answer is 23, just to get it out of the way so I can ask, how can you tell it's right? Often I'll do it to highlight a particular strategy or concept when I know the concrete thinkers are going to be counting by ones in their heads without thinking about anything else. So, avoid small groups, don't let kids come to the board, and don't be the only way students can tell if they got it right.